This video is about my trip to Costa Rica, and all of this is pre-recorded, so any of my IDs or pronunciations won't be corrected, and I hope you enjoy. It takes a lot to make these videos. Right off the bat, one of our first finds was Odontomachus bari, and we would find many more colonies of this. There was an entire colony. Also, please ignore the background noise. We were at a hotel. The next day, also at the hotel, we found these little campanatus tending to some aphids on this agave, and it was actually a pretty common species in the area. But I still wanted to show this so you could see that we found this. Now that it was lunchtime, we went to another restaurant, and we saw that these faidoli were dragging off a decapitated damselfly here. You can see its head being dragged along with its body. I still have no idea what these faidoli are, but they look pretty cool with their color scheme. Their nest was somewhere off into the bushes. That's why there is a pretty prominent trail of workers here. Right next to the faidoli, we found this Lachino worker. I think it's Lachino. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it was just foraging. The second night, we found these Camponotus atriceps workers everywhere. They were in our hotel, on the ground, on the trees, on the branches, in the soil, on the walls. We actually did see them last night, but we didn't take any footage. There's the same faidoli from, dragging off the damselfly, currently eating I don't know what at night, which is pretty cool. I broke this twig, and we found this arboreal Solenopsis colony, and yes, I broke their twig, so they're mad at me now, but we did see this Solenopsis in an earlier frame from the faidoli. So I followed one of these leafcutter ant trails back to their nest, and turns out there is a nest right here. And that white blob is not the fungus you see. It is actually a rock. Before we continue, I would like to remind you to hit that subscribe button. It's free and you can always take it back, and it also helps me out a lot. So we are now in a different location to find different ants. Let's get anting. One of the immediate finds was Pseudomyrmex ferruginea, and otherwise known as the acacia ants. They are pretty cool for their symbiotic relationship with acacia plants. We flipped open a log and immediately found this Odontomachus colony with tons of brood. All the workers instantly abandoned all their eggs, and we were just left with this. Of course, we let them go. We found the Pseudomyrmex gracilis worker on a tree, and it is much larger than the Pseudomyrmex ferruginea acacia ants we found earlier, about twice as big. And we didn't find any other of these ants, so it must have just been this one, but it's still pretty cool. I found this Cephalotes umbriculatus worker on this tree. Of course, it's another arboreal ant species directly after the Pseudomyrmex gracilis, but wasn't expecting to find these. They're very beautiful with their spots. This clearly was a good spot for acacia ants. As you can see, we found another species pretty quickly. Nearing the end of the trail, we found this tarantula that was under a rock, and we also found some Pomeranian ants, which I'll show later. So we found 2 of these 4 centimeter scorpions under a rock. Yeah, not many ants at the end of the trail, besides the Pomeranian ants from earlier, which you can see right now. For those of you who have made it to this point of this video, you've made it to the end. I will post a part 2 of my trip to Costa Rica, and I hope you enjoyed this video. But for now, it's Ant on a Brick, going out.